Winter is right around the corner and soon I'll be taking my van down to Baja, Mexico and then up to Alaska for the summer. The roads are pretty rough. So I'll be upgrading my suspension before I leave, and Timbren sent me a suspension upgrade. The installation for these things is super easy. The removal of the old ones on my van, I have a feeling will give me some issues, but we're gonna do it anyway. Upgrading to Timbren's Aeon rubber springs will give the van more stability and make for a much smoother ride, especially on the bumpy roads that I get on. This is the old one, this is the new one. Quite a bit of size difference there. These bad boys are going to give me much better support, so let's get into the installation, which is supposed to be super easy, but since I have a ProMaster, it was a doozy. To remove the old bump stops, you stick a screwdriver into the notches on the mount and hammer it until it spins off. The bolt on mine was super rusted though, so I tried to heat it up with a torch to get it loose without breaking, and after a lot of heating and hammering, the welded nut ended up breaking anyway, making it impossible to unscrew them out the rest of the way.
Gosh darn it.
Well, loosening it with the torch didn't work, so we're gonna cut it off with the plasma cutter. Here we go. Typically removing this part wouldn't take such extreme measures, and maybe if I had spent days blasting it with PB Blaster this wouldn't have happened, but I guess we'll never know. Well, part 1 did not go to plan, which honestly doesn't surprise me because my van has spent most of its time in the rust belt, and every time I try to take things off of it, they're rusted and they break, and it's such a task. The next step, which is installing the rubber springs, is actually super easy. Timbren provides a mounting bracket and the rubber spring, and all you have to do is bolt the spring onto the bracket using the bolt they give you, and then screw the bracket into the nut that was already in there. In my case, I bought a new lock washer and nut, but if yours didn't break off like mine, you can use the one that's already mounted in your van. Timbren's Aeon rubber springs are especially great for a big van like this because they help improve stability and reduce body roll and sway, all of which create dangerous driving conditions. The upgraded suspension provides a smooth, comfortable, and controlled ride in the van no matter where you're going. And installation requires no special tools, although I might suggest some good penetrating oil if you have a van like mine. And that's it, the suspension's upgraded. Thank you, Timbren, for the upgrade, and I'll see you guys out on the roads.